What if I told you that one of the most important books about mental health was written by a woman who tragically took her own life just 1 month after its publication? Today, we're diving deep into Sylvia Plath's groundbreaking novel, The Bell Jar, a book that shattered literary conventions and opened conversations about depression that continue to resonate 60 years later. The Bell Jar isn't just another coming-of-age story, it's a raw, unflinching examination of what it means to feel trapped inside your own mind, told through the eyes of Esther Greenwood, a brilliant young woman whose promising future suddenly feels suffocating. This novel doesn't sugarcoat mental illness or wrap it in pretty metaphors. Instead, it presents depression as what it truly is, a complex, devastating condition that can affect anyone, regardless of their intelligence, opportunities, or circumstances. What makes this book absolutely essential reading is how Plath transforms personal suffering into universal truth. She wrote this novel during her own struggles with depression, drawing from her experiences with electroshock therapy and psychiatric hospitalization. The result is a work of startling authenticity that speaks to anyone who has ever felt disconnected from their own life or questioned their place in the world. The Bell Jar broke new ground by presenting a female protagonist who wasn't defined by romance or marriage, but by her own ambitions and internal struggles. Esther Greenwood wants to be a writer, but she's paralysed by the weight of expectations and the narrowing possibilities she sees for women in the 1950s. This tension between personal desire and societal pressure creates a narrative that feels remarkably contemporary. But this isn't just a story about mental illness. It's about the courage required to seek help, the slow process of healing, and the possibility of reclaiming your life even when everything feels hopeless. Plath's prose is both beautiful and brutal, creating moments of stunning clarity within the fog of depression. The novel's title itself provides one of literature's most powerful metaphors for mental illness. The Bell Jar represents the suffocating feeling of being trapped, cut off from the world around you, breathing stale air, while life continues just out of reach. It's an image that has helped countless readers understand and articulate their own experiences with depression. What we're about to explore together is how Plath crafted this masterpiece, the key events that drive Esther's journey, and the profound lessons we can extract from her story. Whether you're familiar with the book or discovering it for the first time, prepare to encounter a work that challenges everything you think you know about mental health, ambition, and the complexity of human experience. The Bell Jar follows 19-year-old Esther Greenwood during a pivotal summer in 1953 when she's working as a guest editor at a prestigious magazine in New York City. What should be the opportunity of a lifetime becomes the catalyst for a profound psychological crisis. Esther finds herself unable to connect with the glamorous world around her, feeling increasingly detached from her colleagues and the exciting experiences that once would have thrilled her. As her internship progresses, Esther's mental state deteriorates rapidly. She becomes fixated on her inability to make decisions about her future, paralysed by the competing paths available to her. The pressure to choose between marriage, career, and motherhood in 1950s. America weighs heavily on her mind, but her depression makes even simple choices feel impossible. Returning home to suburban Massachusetts, Esther's condition worsens dramatically. She's rejected from a writing course that she desperately wanted to attend, and her mother's well-meaning but misguided attempts to help only increase her sense of isolation. Sleep becomes elusive, eating becomes difficult, and even reading, her greatest passion, becomes impossible. The novel reaches its darkest point when Esther attempts suicide, leading to her hospitalization in a psychiatric facility. Here, Plath provides an unflinching look at mental health treatment in the 1950s, including the controversial use of electroshock therapy. Through Esther's eyes, we experience both the terror of losing control and the gradual process of finding stability through proper treatment and compassionate care. Dr. Nolan, Esther's psychiatrist, becomes a crucial figure in her recovery. Unlike the male doctors who dismiss her concerns, Dr. Nolan takes Esther seriously and helps her understand that her feelings are valid responses to real pressures. Under her care, Esther slowly begins to reconnect with herself and the world around her. The novel concludes with Esther's preparation to leave the hospital and return to college. While her recovery isn't complete, she gained tools to manage her depression and a clearer understanding of her own needs and desires. The bell jar may descend again, but she now knows it can also lift. The opening chapters establish Esther's growing disconnection from her prestigious magazine internship in New York. Despite being surrounded by opportunities that should excite her, she feels numb and detached. This alienation manifests in her inability to enjoy experiences like fancy dinners and magazine parties, setting the stage for her deeper psychological struggles. Esther's relationship with her fellow intern Doreen reveals her internal conflict between conformity and rebellion. While Doreen embraces a carefree lifestyle, Esther feels torn between admiration and disapproval, unable to fully commit to either path. This tension reflects her broader struggle with identity and social expectations. The food poisoning incident at a magazine luncheon becomes a turning point, triggering Esther's complete withdrawal from the internship experience. As she lies sick in her hotel room, she begins to recognize that something fundamental has shifted in her mental state, though she can't yet articulate what's happening to her. Returning home to Massachusetts, Esther faces rejection from the writing program she'd hoped to attend. This disappointment, combined with the pressure of an unstructured summer, accelerates her descent into depression. She becomes unable to read, write, or engage in activities that once brought her joy. Esther's relationship with her mother becomes increasingly strained as her depression deepens. Her mother's attempts to encourage normal activities and social interaction feel oppressive to Esther, who interprets these efforts as a lack of understanding. The generational divide regarding mental health becomes a significant barrier to communication. The suicide attempt represents the novel's darkest moment, but Plath handles it with remarkable sensitivity. Rather than sensationalizing the act, she focuses on Esther's desperation and the circumstances that led to this point. The failed attempt becomes a catalyst for proper treatment rather than a tragic ending. Esther's hospitalization introduces Dr. Nolan, whose approach to treatment marks a dramatic shift in the narrative. Unlike previous authority figures who dismissed Esther's concerns, Dr. Nolan validates her experiences and helps her understand depression as a treatable medical condition rather than a personal failing. The gradual process of recovery occupies the novel's final section, showing that healing from depression isn't linear or simple. Esther experiences setbacks and breakthroughs, slowly rebuilding her relationship with herself and her ambitions. Her return to college represents hope rather than a cure, acknowledging that recovery is an ongoing process. Mental health struggles don't discriminate based on intelligence, opportunity, or social status. Esther's brilliance and promising future don't protect her from depression, challenging the myth that mental illness only affects certain types of people. This recognition helps reduce stigma and encourages understanding that anyone can experience psychological difficulties. The importance of proper professional help cannot be overstated. Dr. Nolan's compassionate and informed approach contrasts sharply with the dismissive treatment Esther receives from other medical professionals. This difference illustrates how crucial it is to find mental health providers who take patients seriously and treat them with dignity. Societal expectations and gender roles can contribute significantly to mental health struggles. Esther's depression is exacerbated by the limited options available to women in the 1950s and the pressure to choose between mutually exclusive paths. Understanding these external pressures helps contextualize individual struggles within broader social issues. Recovery is possible, but it requires time, patience, and appropriate support. Esther's journey shows that healing from depression isn't about returning to a previous state, but about developing new coping mechanisms and understanding. The process is gradual and requires ongoing commitment from both the individual and their support system. The power of authentic human connection plays a crucial role in healing. Dr. Nolan's genuine care and understanding provide Esther with the foundation she needs to begin recovery. This relationship demonstrates how important it is for people struggling with mental health to feel seen and heard by others. Self-advocacy in healthcare settings is essential for receiving appropriate treatment. Esther's recovery begins when she encounters professionals who listen to her concerns and take her seriously. This teaches readers the importance of speaking up about their needs and finding providers who respect their experiences. The metaphor of the bell jar itself offers insight into the nature of depression. The feeling of being cut off from the world, breathing stale air while life continues around you, provides a powerful way to understand and communicate about mental health struggles. This imagery helps both sufferers and their loved ones conceptualize the experience. Personal ambition and mental health can coexist, but balance is crucial. Esther's drive to succeed as a writer doesn't disappear with her depression. Instead, she learns to pursue her goals while managing her mental health. This teaches readers that having ambitious goals is compatible with taking care of psychological well-being. The importance of challenging societal expectations becomes clear through Esther's struggle with prescribed gender roles. Her depression is partly fueled by feeling trapped by limited options, suggesting that questioning and resisting harmful social pressures is essential for psychological health. Support systems matter enormously in recovery, but they must be informed and compassionate. Esther's mother's well-meaning but misguided efforts actually hinder her recovery, while Dr. Nolan's informed approach facilitates healing. This distinction highlights the importance of education and understanding in supporting someone with mental health challenges. The Bell Jar stands as one of literature's most important contributions to mental health awareness, written with an honesty and insight that continues to resonate decades after its publication. Sylvia Plath's masterpiece doesn't offer easy answers or comfortable platitudes about depression. Instead, it provides something far more valuable: authentic representation of the experience and genuine hope for recovery. What makes this novel extraordinary is its refusal to romanticize mental illness while simultaneously refusing to dismiss it as weakness or failure. Plath shows us that depression is a complex medical condition that requires proper treatment and understanding, not judgment or simplistic solutions. Through Esther's journey, we see that seeking help is an act of courage, not surrender. The book's enduring relevance speaks to both its literary merit and its psychological accuracy. Readers continue to find themselves in Esther's struggles, recognizing their own experiences in her feelings of disconnection and uncertainty. The novel serves as both mirror and map, reflecting our struggles while pointing toward possible paths forward. Perhaps most importantly, the Bell Jar demonstrates that survival is possible, that the Bell Jar can lift, and that life can continue with meaning and purpose even after the darkest moments. Esther's story doesn't end with her hospital discharge. It ends with her preparing to re-enter the world, equipped with new understanding and tools for managing her mental health. For contemporary readers, this novel offers validation, hope, and practical insight into the nature of depression and recovery. It reminds us that mental health struggles are part of the human experience, not a departure from it, and that with proper support and treatment, people can not only survive but thrive.